Hey guys, Tom here from Metalloud, and today we need to talk about something not so pleasant, and that is what happened the other night with Phil Anselmo of Pantera. Now, I'm sure you probably have seen the video by now. It's been circulating on the news, on social media, and basically what happened was at the end of the set, Phil Anselmo came out and did a Nazi salute and shouted "White Power" into the crowd. Now, he came out and said that he was going to own it, and he then decided to say he was just joking, that it was an inside joke, that it wasn't about, racism, it was about white wine. And that was the whole point of white power, was talking about white wine. And then we have Rob Flynn and Machine Head coming out and saying that that was a load of horseshit and that there was no white wine or anything, and that Phil Anselmo had only been drinking Beck's beer, whatever. You know, I'm glad that I'm glad that Rob Flynn came out and basically condemned Phil Anselmo on this and called him out for his bullshit, and basically said that this isn't okay, which is what I want to talk about. This is not okay. Now, Phil Anselmo today posted a video of just him, looks like on a front porch or back porch or whatever, outside, apologizing for his actions and saying that he deserves the hatred and all this stuff. And I don't really know if I buy his apology at this point. I mean, he initially came out and said the same thing, but that he was joking. And when that backfired, now he's coming out and saying he deserves it, that it's all his fault, that he knows what he did was wrong. And I don't really know if I buy it from him. I mean, especially because there is a pattern with him, and he's known for doing shit like that. And I don't really know if I honestly buy his apology as being sincere, but whatever. That's not exactly what I want to talk about. His behavior was absolutely deplorable and disgusting. There's no reason for that to have even happened, that he came out to a crowd of people and did that as a joke. That's not a joke. That's not funny. That doesn't You don't just do that as a joke. Even I don't even know where that came from. That's not even a thing you do. And what makes it worse is, I mean, as bad as it is already, what makes it worse is he did this at a festival to honor his murdered bandmate. And that's disgusting to me that you would do that. I mean, there's so many people that look up to Pantera, that get into metal Pantera. I mean, people of all nationalities, all races, and for him to come out and do that shit just really is not, it's not okay. And we can't excuse it, and we can't just dismiss it. And that's where I start getting even more angry, is the fact that the way people are handling this. And I'm so glad that there's people like Rob Flynn coming out and not sitting by and just dismissing this, or even just giving a one-line quote of, "Oh, fuck that guy." No, he did a full video condemning this, and I'm glad that he did that. But read the comments on social media and everything about this incident, about the video that was posted where he did this, or the video's responses that people have made and things. And I'm glad there's a lot of people that are actually coming out and just condemning his bullshit. But read a lot of the responses, and there's the ones that are like, oh, it's just a joke, or this is PC culture gone too far, that there people are upset about this, just get over it, it's not a big deal. That shit, thankfully, I've seen mostly from accounts that are like, high schoolers and shit like that, which they're just stupid. They'll hopefully grow out of it, but whatever. Then there's the worst response to me, which is the people that are saying, oh, this is just what Phil Anselmo does. It's 2016 and he's still a racist prick. Who really cares? How is this news? Whatever. Why? What is that line of thinking? Like, if somebody pulls this shit and comes out on stage and goddamn does a Nazi salute and says white power, how are we saying that this is okay just because it's what he does? Or that we shouldn't be upset at this point because it's just what he does? Fuck that. You know what? There's no point where we should not be upset to see this happen. You know, there should never be a time where we say, that's whatever, I'm not upset anymore, he just does that. That's not a good reason to not be upset because somebody constantly does something that is just horrifically offensive. And and you may not think that it is a big deal. I don't know where you are in your life or what you believe or whatever, but if you don't understand why this is a big deal, think about what people think of you when you say, I listen to metal. When you go to and I'm not talking about your friends or other people in this community that listen to metal. I'm talking about your parents or your siblings, friends, or something like that. People who don't listen to metal, people outside of this community. And already when you say I listen to metal, you usually get a look, you usually get some comment or something, or you can just tell that they're thinking something not great in their heads. And it's because of shit like this. It's because people have this belief that metal music and hardcore music and all this shit is just, aggressive straight white males screaming for no reason, and because they can't channel emotion and shit like that, or that it's devil worship music, or that it's just intolerant music. And if you're part of the community, that's the furthest thing from the truth, that metal music and hardcore music and all of that just attracts everybody of all different walks of life, of all different nationalities, of all different races, of all different economic statuses, and it's just it really is a binding type of music that we all feel angry, we all feel everything that comes out with metal. And there's that's why there's such a diverse popularity of metal music. It's not just people like me, for instance. And when you have people from the outside seeing shit like this, and then to have people just say, oh, that's just what he does, they're immediately going to think that applies to everybody, that's just a thing that metal people do, that people who listen to metal, people who listen to hardcore, people who listen to Pantera are just racists, and this is a tolerable behavior in our community because we're not actively talking about it, and we're trying to just dismiss it. And imagine what it would be like if you're black or Jewish or anything, and you listen to metal and you see this shit. Like, how disheartening would that be to be a Pantera fan and to be at a concert and see Phil Anselmo come out and just say white power and do a Nazi salute? Like, just imagine that for a second, how just disgusted you must be and how singled out you would feel in that instance, in that crowd. And we can't just say we're not angry anymore, we just accept that's what he does. We should never be at that point. We should never be at the point where we are accepting his behavior because that's just what he does. There's no point in time where that should be acceptable. And he's going to do what he does. Whether his apology is sincere or not, I don't know. I don't really buy it at this time, based on his behavior and based on his past behavior and what we're hearing about the show. But we shouldn't be apologizing for him. We shouldn't be accepting this. We shouldn't be sitting silent and saying, this is whatever. It's Phil Anselmo. It's not a big deal. It's what he does. There's no reason for that. We should be actively condemning this and just saying that this is not okay. This is not what our community is about. This is not what metal music is about. And we can't just let this slide. And whether I'm not going to go as far as what some people are saying and say never listen to Pantera again, because Phil Anselmo's not Pantera. He's not the whole band. And it's him. That's all it is. Right now, as it stands, it is Phil Anselmo pulling that bullshit. And it's something that we can't let just slide. And again, I apologize that I'm ranting right now, and I apologize that I'm sounding angry. And I know I'm a couple days late with this, but so far, really, all I've seen people condemning this, like, other than some social media comments, really has been just Rob Flynn. And that's a little disheartening to me, that we're not seeing more in this community come out and just say, this is bullshit. This is something that's not okay. And I would like to see more prominent people come out and talk about this. This isn't something we can just let slide. Again, this shouldn't be a normal behavior. We shouldn't normalize this. We shouldn't try and just slide it under the rug. And if you see this elsewhere, if you see other people doing this, other bands doing this shit, you should call them out on this. I don't care if it's your favorite band. Like, I really don't care if my favorite band right now were to go out on stage and do a Nazi salute. Like, fuck that. I don't care how much I love their music. That's the end of it for me. That's it. I'm not letting them slide because I like their music. We just praise celebrities so much, and we let them get away with shit like that because we idolize them too much, that we can't see that they do shit like this. And if you're a huge Phil Anselmo fan, I mean, if you want to like Pantera and their music with Phil Anselmo, go ahead. I'm not going to judge you for that. I like that music. A lot of people do. There's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to go ahead and try to defend Phil Anselmo for this shit, or if you're going to try to dismiss it or pull any of that bullshit, then fuck you. Seriously, like, I don't really care. You shouldn't be dismissing this. And that's kind of my point with all of this, is just, we need to talk about it, and we need to just not let this slide at all. So thanks, guys, for sticking around and watching my rant about this. I am upset about this. I really think we all should be. But let me know what you think down below in a comment, and subscribe to the channel for more.